from Czech, and I'm here to tell you something about my daily praxis. This is how I improve my daily praxis thanks to transformer. Everybody knows it. If you have something new, you can improve your praxis. So this is how I improve my surgical procedures with implantation with tooth transformer. As first, let's talk how does it look before. We have two ways how to implant: immediate implantation and delayed implantation. Most of cases is normally by delayed implantations, because immediate implantation need much more stronger bone and special conditions. It looks like here. We provide extraction. In the same procedure, we make implantation also with augmentation, because implant is usually smaller than extraction wound. And I usually wait 6 months. 6 month healing. After that, I make final loading. Delayed implantation, like this. I make extraction, sometimes with socket preservation. It depends from manufacturers. After 3 month healing, I make implantation, sometimes with augmentation, and I wait 3 months. After 3 months, I provide final loading, final crown. Both procedures take 6 months. 6 months healing, and when I have delayed implantation, there are 2 surgical procedures, quite big procedures. But this is when I use xenograft and alloplast. But now we talk about improved material, autologous dentin. It very much improved material, so we have expectations from that. Which expectations? Better healing, faster healing, lower rate of failure. For example, when I make a big lateral sinus lift, sometimes after 6 months, I find during implantation just only very soft tissue. Sometimes like a mat. If I use autologous dentin, I suppose that there will be bone, maybe soft bone, but bone after 3 months, I hope. So, if I have this expectation, I can change my protocols. How? First, I have just only 2 factors. How to divide to immediate implantation and delayed implantation. It's a time and bone. Yes, sometimes happens to me that patient come to me, "Doctor, I have big toothache, please help me now." I haven't time to that moment, because I have another patient. So I have time for extraction and socket preservation, but it's no time for implantation. And the bone, it depends if there will be big extraction, devastating extraction, or some places are risky. For example, upper 6, there is big sinus sometimes. So in this occasion, I cannot provide immediate implantation. But in most of cases, it's planned, so I have enough time, and there is enough bone. So most of cases are where immediate implantation. Just only small amount of patient I go through the socket preservation and delay implantation. So the ratio between this way is completely changed. That's first big, really big change. And how does it look in my practice? I make extraction. I wait 1 hour. It's time which consume change tooth to augmentation material, and I provide implantation with augmentation, and I wait just only 3 months. After 3 months, I make final loading. So whole procedure took only 3 months. with comparing with 6 months in a normal procedure. And what about delay implantation? Again, I make extraction and I make a socket preservation. And I wait just only 1 month. 1 month, and after 1 month I provide always flapless implantation. Why flapless? Everybody here know that if we make flap, we lost blood supply. And I cannot imagine what happened if just only 1 month old bone lost nutrition. I think it must be disaster for the bone. So always I provide flapless implantation and I wait again only 3 months. After 3 months I provide final loading. So all this procedure take only 4 months. And now you can say it's a silly implantation after one month. But I have argument. It's histology. In this moment, always, I'm taking histology. It looks usually like here. I'm taking mucosa, submucosa, new bone, old bone, and we can see there always this picture. Here are dentin particles, and in middle there is a lot of bone. When I compare it with histology after 3 months healing without augmentation, it's the bone is the same level of bone. It's not organ-side bone, but the density of bone is much more bigger in this case. And this is after 1 month healing. This is in nearly all our histologies. After 1 month healing. Very, very fast healing. Okay, that was theory. Let's look for some cases. First case, it was a young man, 25 years old, and it was planned. He has a problem with tooth 21. So I remove tooth 28 one week before, and I planned implantation. And it's in frontal part, so I planned immediate implantation with immediate loading. You can see that tooth which was wrong. This is donor side of tooth 28. This is how it looks. I cut it, made augmentation material. I mix it with PRF. As you've seen, the manipulation is very easy, and PRF is booster of healing. Healing is much more faster, but just only 1 week. 1 week, there is a lot of big amount of healing factors. After 1 week, it decreased, but there is bone, not bone, autologous dentin. So it looks like here. Extraction, you can see the defects around implantation, and the next day was temporary crown. This is PRF membrane. And this is how that looks after 3 months. You can see dates. It was the change on the same date. This is temporary crown after 3 months. You can see the beautiful gingiva. And final crown after 1 hour, after 3 hours from I removed it. It was made by Celko. Summary, you can see before extraction and final gingiva and bone. It looks, I think, very acceptable for patient. Perfect. Second case. It was older lady. She has a problem with tooth 36, but it's also planned. So I have enough time, enough bone. I make immediate implantation. This is the tooth. I remove it, extract. I make augmentation material. Also, I mix it with PRF. And this is implantation. Implant with gaps around augmented genetic material, that's autologous bone, autologous dentin, and it was covered with PRF. As I said, that PRF is really good booster of healing, so this is how does looks after 1 week. There is nearly healed soft tissue. Here are X-rays. That's immediately after extract implantation. This always I make X-ray of exodontics treated tooth. That's endodonty on extracted tooth. And this is 2.5 month healing. After 2.5 month healing, I made second stage surgery. You can see a beautiful restored elbow, and I make a small flap around implant. There is new bone. After 2.5 months, it's really fast. The results. This is in February. In May, you can see the final X-ray. Very fast. The final case. This was lady which came to me and doctor, I have problem. Tooth is moving. I have toothache. So there was a broken tooth. I haven't time for implantation. So I decided to delay implantation. Here was the tooth. I provide very gentle extraction with Benex. That's a device which extract roots just only thanks pulling. And there is a very interesting thing that Prof show the soft tissue. Bone was just here. So there is a big defect of bone, buccal bone. But I provide socket preservation, and after 1 month, this is flapless implantation. And you can see that soft tissue is just only 2 millimeters. After 1 month, implantation, and this is X-ray review. So initial condition, there was some external resorption. This is X-ray before implantation, and this CT scan after 3 months healing of implant. And you can see here and here, there is normal bone after 3 months. That's great. So this is, and this is result. Extraction with Benex, big gap, big defect after 1 month, and this is final crown. So this is how looks my new protocol. It's very, very fast, and I think it's very useful for patient. Patient love it because it's for just only 3 or 4 months. Procedures. Here is just only 1 procedure, but here there is 2 surgical procedures, but even flapless implantation is very, very easy and acceptable for every patient. So patient will love this. And this thanks autologous dentin. And that's all. Thank you for your attention. There was no space for my big risky cases, but I hope that this show you a little bit my work.